Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Liberty Cowgirl Network. I'm here with Cowgirl Dee. Tonight, we have some updates on our open source information. But first, how was your holiday, Cowgirl?
Oh, it was nice and relaxing. No politics at all.
Likewise,
Yes,
likewise.
we had a good break.
Well, that's great. We did too, and now we have snow. It all brought
We're
snow.
getting it. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna get it here. Yep, yep. It's
it's.
exciting.
They even said 90-mile-an-hour winds by Friday. It's crazy.
Hi,
The weather.
Jen. Good to see you, love. Good to see you, love.
Hello,
Yeah,
everyone.
batten down the hatches, y'all. It's coming. The winter is here. Old man winter is settling in. December 1st. Is that tomorrow? I think.
Right. Yes, I think it is.
So it's like right on time. Winter, December 1st.
Right. Hi, Jen. Welcome to the show. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff to cover in a small amount of time tonight. So um, let's get right into it. First of all, speaking of the weather, what about these volcanoes erupting
Yeah.
over in Hawaii?
Yeah, I was
In
watching
elsewhere?
Tin. Yep, that's right up Tin TV's alley. And Stephanie was on last night and kind of given a really good education about where, she had predicted it was going to explode out, and it sure did. And it's just fun. They make a good time of a serious situation, but also a important, boots on the ground. She's got family there, I understand. And so, you kind of want to know what's going on when you got a volcano going to explode on your island. And so it's a big concern. She said it's been due, I think it's been 300 years since this one has done a big boom. So, yeah, there's three now, right? In Hawaii going off, or are they all different places?
Right. Well, I heard of two.
Okay.
I don't know
Hmm.
about the third one yet, but
Hmm.
you know, the weather anomalies. If you
Hmm.
want to call them anomalies, but
Yeah.
and the tornadoes here in the United States. Um,
Was there some
you know,
tornadoes last week? I know there was some warnings,
yeah,
but I
there's a
uh-huh.
real devastating one that just happened over in Montgomery, Alabama,
Oh no.
today,
It's not
and
tornado season, is it? It's not tornado season, is it?
it looks horrific. The damage over there is crazy. Um, and we got to really put prayers out
Mm-hmm.
to all
Oh,
these people
Grandma,
that are
Grandma
affected
Polly.
uh, by these storms. So I
Mhm.
wanted to start with that, so we could start with a prayer. Maybe you could lead us in a small
Sure.
prayer tonight.
Why not?
Pray for them.
Yeah.
Hi, Paul. And also, if we could add Bonnie to the
Yep.
prayer list from Bonnie's channel. She's very sick tonight.
Yep. Yep.
And also, if we could put in a special prayer for Aunt Betty's sister, Tootsie, down in Florida, who's battling cancer and really going through a very difficult time. She could use all of our prayers. So, if we could just stop and pray for
Yeah.
everyone right now, I
Do
think
that.
that's the best way to begin the show tonight.
Yep. God, thank you for just having a moment with my sister here to share some information. I pray for Tootsie, Aunt. I don't know. I forgot all the details there, Lord. But who is it again? How do you say it? Aunt Tootsie
Yes, Tootsie down in Florida, she's
down in
battling
Florida.
cancer.
God, we just pray you give her a special touch. We know you could heal, and I pray you would heal her. We pray for Bonnie, Lord, who's worried about pneumonia setting on. I pray, God, it would not set on. There's a lot of people that are sick, have sick family members. Lord, we lift them all up to you. You know who they all are. Thank you for my brother in law being here. Thank you for Jen. Just, Lord, all the viewers that'll see this later, I pray for their families, for them, their health, their finances, their protection, spiritually and emotionally. God, just lift these people up to you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I might have missed something, but we tried.
Well, it's always, it's people are going through a very hard time right now in all kinds of ways, and
Yeah.
I just
Mhm.
want to make sure that we let everybody know,
Mhm.
we're getting the emails, um,
Mhm.
and we're going to hold everybody up in prayer, through all of our prayer warriors. Outside of this show, we all
Yeah.
belong to prayer groups, and we're all
Yeah.
praying for these same people, in our
The
prayer.
prayers work, people. We've been seeing prayers work, and it's amazing. Hi, Rocksteady. Good to see you, honey. Prayers work, you guys.
Hey, Rocksteady. Okay, so this week, because it was a holiday, obviously, I was surprised we heard from any generals at all.
Mm-hmm.
But ironically, we heard from one that we haven't heard from in quite some time, and that was
Ooh.
Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer. Uh,
Ooh.
we've gotten updates from him in the past, but uh, we're just going to get right up into it. We're in the thick of things
Mm-hmm.
right now, and they're starting to show themselves in various ways. Um, he came straight out and said that the DHS Secretary Mayorkas is just incompetent. He's very ineffective. There everyone is calling for him to step down. And again, we look at things through two scopes.
Mm-hmm.
One scope has told us he's already been arrested. I think we got a report about that a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope that is the case, because as we're seeing now, uh, things aren't what they seem. Some
Right.
things aren't what they seem to be. And, we're starting to see what things those are. Now, we want to be very careful in this broadcast, because we just want to let everybody know the censorship is real. And
Indeed.
there's a whole list of words that we're unable to speak, that will kind of pantomime or whatever we need to do to illustrate our point. So if we're talking in a roundabout way, it's because we're trying to talk around a topic that we're not supposed to use the words for, right? Um,
Wrong, but yeah, sure.
yeah, I know it is wrong, but that's what we're dealing with. Uh, so, uh, in addition to that, uh, he was making a point of, again, we've heard this from all the generals, uh, this fentanyl coming in from the southern border uh, is a WMD, and we all
Yeah.
know what that is.
Mm.
And he said the American public really needs to get their head around that. I mean, anybody popping any of those pills right now for any other reason, prescribed by an authorized doctor, is taking their own life into their hand, you know, um, and that's just a fact. They're
Yeah.
using that as a weapon, and they're being quite effective at it, I might add. And anyone can go and check up the stats on the deaths um, that have occurred because of the fentanyl that's pouring across the border down there right now.
Mm.
But, you know, uh, he had a lot to say about what's going on the border, as well as what's going on in Ukraine. In that, but even more importantly, the money that's being sent over there uh, is needs to be audited. They're all screaming for audits of where all this money is going. That's
Mm-hmm.
being sent over to fund these wars that we didn't ask for. We, the American people, at least.
Right.
So, everyone needs to see this battle and who's battling who it very clearly at this point. You know, we're not battling each other. Uh, it's not the Republicans versus the Democrats anymore. This is good versus bad people in all around the world, worldwide. We all know that, if you're have been studying this for any amount of time as to what's going on, that we are dealing with a very dark side
Yeah.
and dark operators attached
For
to that
sure.
dark side.
Indeed.
And it goes far and wide and very deep, and it's very scary to think about what's
Yeah.
going on in that regard. So he brings that out to illustrate about that. But more importantly, again, he's a military man. He's thinking militarily. Of course, our biggest threat is China. We've all known that. People have been
Mhm.
saying that for months and months and months and months.
Yep.
Um, and he said that we need to focus on what their weaknesses are right now. So, of course, then the question was posed to him, well, what does he see as those weaknesses? And he was saying, uh, water. They're going to have a big problem with water here in the near future. Future, uh, fossil fuel, and food. So he was saying if we focus on those aspects with China, that would be helpful. But basically, he said that the policies that have been put in place by this potato head administration doesn't benefit the American people. It only benefits the people who are putting them out there, which, we all know that potato head is taking his orders from others, which lead to the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab.
Mhm.
So,
Well, on the
again,
China note, I want to. Oops, get that echo. I don't know why we got an echo all of a sudden. We didn't have one. Now we have. Do you hear an echo too?
right.
Yeah.
No, I don't hear
No.
any
Uh,
echo here.
I remember
If
a
we
man
can get a
told.
5 by 5 from somebody in chat, that would be great.
Yep, I remember someone told me here in Eureka that China owns a lot of property here in Humboldt County, and we know that China also owns quite a bit of American property, and that they could and plan to and are trying to take us down without firing a shot. Where do they plan to get their water from? Right here, from the land that they somehow own on American soil. That's my concern, but that's just my 2 cents about China.
Right. And again,
Yeah,
it was a short segment with him, but again, another
Schaefer.
main
Yeah,
point
General Schaefer. Thank you
uh,
for
that the
yeah.
MSN, the mainstream media, is a continued threat in their misinformation. I mean, at what point are they going to stop these people? They're the biggest producers of misinformation, but yet they're allowed to continue and to continue and to continue. So, we're in the law of war manual, since we're in a continuity of government situation. Again, looking through one scope, we know a lot. Haven't seen that yet, but a lot of people are there and have been on, and there's analysis and videos and all kinds of things explaining these processes. But at what point are they going to take people down? Now we know that we see some main newscasters from all networks retiring, uh, gone. For instance, where are the Cuomo's at?
Either one, either brother,
Yeah,
right? Don't know. Thought we saw one of those
they had a
doofuses.
lot to say in recent months, but
Yeah, they should.
yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
get to where a few people are, because there seems to be
Okay.
more than a few people
Okay.
missing. Yeah, there seems to be more than a few people
Hold on. Let's
missing.
go. Let's get there.
Uh, but, you know, he's just really echoing what all of the others have said,
Hmm.
exactly where we're at, as far as new information or new intel, uh, is concerned. We're all getting the same information. You need to be watching what's going on. There's a war happening. It's been happening. It started in Ukraine. People are positioning. There's flight radar uh, that's indicating every country and their military in the skies and in the seas. Uh, uh, what's going on, and we're going to get to an analysis before this is over on where everybody's lined up in regards to Turkey and Taiwan,
Okay.
because those seem to be the next things that are coming down the pike. Uh, but
Hmm.
yeah, um,
Well, that would be biblical proportion. Turkey
right,
and Iran.
right. It sure would. Now, let's get over to real quick because there's a new SG and non audio file out, audio file 28.
Okay.
Um, and let me just give a little of his insight into what's going on over there. He's saying that it is his understanding that the C, the I, and the A, I'll say it that way to break it up, uh, assets uh, have been sent out of Switzerland and the Mediterranean, and they have now traveled to China in an attempt to barter uh, with the CCP. And we're talking about, deep state operators here. Their monies are being cut off and so forth.
Mhm.
But I guess a group of them were sent over there to have a meeting to talk about getting money, weapons, and helping them to further destabilize the situation that's going on over there, because they're not showing
Mhm.
it on the mainstream media, but we're all seeing the coverage of what obviously looks like a revolution taking place uh, there, as in other countries, everywhere but the USA,
Right.
it seems. Uh,
Don't
so let's,
remind me. Okay.
right.
All for his kingdom. Hello, love.
So he's saying that they're over there inside of China. He's saying that Chinese patriots and the armed forces of the Republic of China, along headed by Xi, is tracking these assets and
Mhm.
are going to take them down. So again, I believe that again for over a week now, uh, arrests have begun. Arrests are taking place behind
Mhm.
the scenes. I think we're coming out with uh, plenty of reports indicating that.
Mhm.
Um, and then he's saying, additionally, Turkey, with Russian economic and military backing now secured, will soon launch a ground war into Syria that will involve other parts of the Middle East as well. uh, Lebanon, and so forth. So, again, we've been watching this military positioning going on and reporting on it from report to report to report. And it certainly seems as though things are starting to line up over there. Now, we know that our 101st Airborne was sent over there.
Hmm.
Uh, uh,
Turkey or Iran or just
into
overseas?
Ukraine
Oh, and oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
on behalf of the United States. Because
Okay.
don't forget, this administration is helping Ukraine, is
Of
giving them
course,
aid.
because they're
And
the
now
victims.
they've offered up a certain portion of our military. Well,
Well, of course, because
listen up.
Zelensky's like a Hollywood actor. We'd have to do that for him. He's
Right,
like Hollywood. I mean, he's important.
right. Well, listen, they're battling each other right now, is what's happening. Okay. So, although they're saying, oh, Russia is attacking Ukraine, uh, and Ukraine is saying, we're being attacked. NATO, the world, everybody help us. Send us money. Send us weapons. Send us
Mhm.
all this stuff.
Yeah,
We all know that there's another narrative happening in the background as to what actually is really taking place over there.
I would
So
hope so. You
it,
all do know that, right? Please, dear God.
uh, we have talked about how there's been an ongoing and we're warned that this would happen and come to this crossroads of this
Mhm.
uh, pick a lane
Standoff. Mm.
moment.
Yeah.
inside of our military, where we have one half of the military regime that's bad and involved and is sold out to the deep state, literally battling other enlisted officers
Right.
that recognize does not recognize this
Mm.
administration uh, as the duly elected by the people administration. Not happening. So
Lots of
we've got,
pawns. Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know, these people, it's not one country battling another. It's, again, let's just get simplistic, good guys versus bad guys
Yeah.
going on, and everybody's got a different title and they're all from a different country, but there is a worldwide alliance that's battling the deep state. So, the military men are being forced, and we've seen some have even been arrested. So what's going on now? Well, okay, you arrest one of ours, we're going to arrest one of yours in our
Right.
scenario over here that we have playing out on mainstream television.
Right.
And make it so, get ready.
And then they take it to the court that throws the stuff out, which then red flags. Oh, there's a dirty court. Then they get dealt with, like with the Carrie Lake situation. That is not over, people.
No.
FYI, is her name Katie Hobbs will not be the governor of Arizona if righteousness and truth prevails in this land. That is not happening. That is all a sham show. Everyone knows it. You guys did a dirty thing again, and this time we were all watching you do it. So, this ain't over. This ain't over. Arizona's in play. That's
Right. So, SG is, just reminding people that we are winning the war and neutralizing bad assets, we'll call them. Uh, but the good guys are allowing them to destroy themselves.
yeah.
People have to realize how
Hi,
huge
Jeremy.
this is.
Yeah.
Hi, Jerry Lee. And there's thousands upon thousands of arrests that have to go down, and it takes a lot of uh, people to conduct these operations.
Yeah.
So
Coordinating and stuff. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was basically his update. He was saying, look at the positive. During this time, that
Mhm.
everybody is having spiritual growth because of this journey and all these realizations,
Mhm.
and that's a good thing for people. Uh,
Did McInerney stay quiet this weekend?
he did not speak out, so he was enjoying his holiday. Uh,
Yeah. And he's
so
late.
that was his um, take on things. Now, let's get to something important, because this is important. Let's kind of back things up a little bit.
Okay.
Part of the reason we're in this continuity of government situation is because this goes all the way back to after the 2020 contest,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the big one, and the director of intelligence was supposed to provide a report uh, to uh, Congress, and or the people in charge at that time. And I don't know who it is. You'll have to forgive me. I was looking for my notes on that. I can't find it. Anyway, they were supposed to provide a report that set forth all of the backup to the claims, I'm going to call them, that are out there about what occurred in that big contest.
Oh,
Okay.
probably some stupid commission.
So they had 45 days
Committee.
to do
Yeah.
this, and they did
Yeah.
not provide that report.
Right.
Even though they didn't have that report, what's
Mhm.
important and what's key is there were 100 Congress people who said, we will not certify this contest, okay,
Yeah.
because we don't feel comfortable that we have adequate information uh, to make that certification,
Okay.
okay. And instead of listening to that, and there were 100 of them that said that at the time, they
Hmm.
completely ignored that.
Yeah.
And this is the, the whole, the J6 day and all of that, because that was all set up so that they could conduct this vote in the middle of the night now, of
Right.
course,
Right.
They were all so afraid for their life, but not so afraid that they didn't rush right back. Uh, 2 o'clock in the
Right.
morning,
The
uh,
cover of darkness.
right, so they could take care of their dirty deeds,
Mike
uh,
Pence could get his coin that he got there on the side. And yeah, we saw it. We saw
right.
everything you all did that
So
day, that night,
they
that
ignored
morning.
them and did not take. I think the rules are that they have to pause everything while they investigate for 10 days, a period of 10 days. And they didn't allow them that 10-day investigation into
Right.
anything before they certified that. So right
Mm.
there and then, it's null and void.
Dirty.
I mean, it's
Dirty.
illegal
Yep.
because they went on and they conducted the vote anyway. And by doing so, all of those people committed treason.
Crime vitiates everything. Truth
Exactly.
tornado. Truth
So,
tornado. Look it up.
while current things are important and they're being played out in a very banana republic type of way for the public in the
Yes.
mainstream,
Yes.
we have to remember what has already occurred and what has already taken place.
Yeah.
And of course, I hate to go back to the 17th letter in the alphabet thing, but future proves past. It's exactly what's happening,
Some
and
things
and
verify. Yeah, some things are verifying. You just can't deny it.
right. Well, listen. One reason why we listen to the retired generals, and we're not talking about the ones on mainstream television going on CNN and all those shows, because we have been reporting on them for months now, and everything that they have said has come to pass. Okay. So find your credibility where you might, but I think they're very credible in what they're talking about because they're very knowledgeable in what's happening, particularly with the um, way that the military conducts itself. We have to look to that. Uh, you know, this
Yeah.
is not civilian law that we're dealing with here. We're dealing with the
Mhm.
law of war manual. I've been saying it for over a year and a half, 2 years now. And, we're all starting to see that. So, I encourage everybody to get on and study the law of war manual so you can start to understand why some of the things that are taking place that don't make sense, because we have this other scope here with all of their cast of characters out of Hollywood playing all these parts, confusing everybody. I just put all of that out. I go to what is happening and who's in a position to effect authority that's going to make that change come about. And that's where I stay focused. And I would
Yeah,
recommend.
I have to make myself focus on Humboldt County because it's everything else is a distraction, and I could get very easily caught down any number of rabbit holes that are going to do nothing for our community. And there's a few people talking the truth now, so that's great. But we all have our own angle. We all have our own
Right,
perspective to offer. So the more the merrier. We're not in competition here. We're looking for everybody's talents to contribute. That's we love the boots on the ground. That's our jam. Show me somebody who's in the throes of their community. This information is helpful though because it can help us, can give us some hope that our laws are going to work for us. Justice is slow. It takes time. Nothing
well,
is done like this. It's
in order to resolve this, the American people are trying to do it by the book.
Mhm.
Because if they don't do it by the book, which is already played out, all these things have already been up in certain courts, and we see how the dirty judges are outing themselves, and all the people in the court system, along
Yeah.
with the politicians that are going along with this. When
Because they're so brazen. They
exactly,
feel emboldened. A lot of them don't realize that there's been a turn. We felt that shift about 3 months ago, and we're like, what? wait, is this really happening? And then month after month after month, it's like, why, yes, this is actually happening. You crook criminals are going to go down in the end.
Yeah, so in essence, the bottom line, that a lot of the analysts are saying is that the Senate and the Congress, by not, by, going along with the certification of that uh, in the first place, did not protect the American people from
Yeah.
an attack by a foreign power.
Yes. Yes.
So they
And
are now all guilty
yep.
because, I'm going to stop calling a potato head admin that these are belligerent occupiers of this
Infiltrators.
country.
Yeah. Occupiers.
Okay.
Yep.
We
Yep.
have foreign and domestic belligerent occupation. Okay.
Hello.
And that's the words that we need to start using
Who
from.
has ears to hear, let him hear. This is truth. This is the truth. Everything out of DC is not for the American people. And the government entities in my county have, like I said today on my stream, hoard themselves out for the government to infiltrate here. We're completely government run here. They've done a number on mom and pops. That's the plan. People, you've got to rise up because you don't want your town to be completely government run. And if you don't stand up for your community, you don't stand a chance. You just don't. Everyone has to get involved. This
Right,
is
and
the
we see that happening in a lot of the so-called blue states. We're just as locked in as California here in Colorado.
yeah. Yep,
And,
you are.
everyone really needs to call these people to task because
Yeah.
they're actually at a more advanced pace in California. Uh,
You're the
with
same.
this whole
Colorado and California are both very green, greeny states. You
right,
guys
and
followed us to a T. You were purple for a while, like the Colorado Rockies. I was rooting for you
right
guys that year.
now, what's important with all of the things that tie back to the law of war manual, well, let's just get to this new case that's made its way up to the Supreme Court involving the
Yeah.
Brunson brothers. I don't know if anybody is, caught up to date on the Brunson brothers, but this is three brothers, and um, where are they from? They're from oh, I can't remember what state they're from. Anyway, they had filed and have already taken this case in the very beginning of time.
Yeah.
What I just explained
I
about
think they're Philadelphia, aren't they? I think they're
uh,
Philadelphia. Maybe.
right, I
Seems
don't
like
know
I
where they're
remember,
from.
oh, the city of brotherly love. But yeah,
Right.
they're the one
Well,
with
what we
Biden.
just talked about with the Congress and the certification and not waiting for the
Uh-huh.
report and
Yeah, yeah,
not giving it 10 days for the investigation
yeah,
and not protecting the people from an attack by a foreign entity.
yeah,
Uh, they're complicit in all this. These three brothers put their lives aside the last 2 years on their own as citizens, challenged this from the onset. It has gone through the court system. They purposefully put it through some court systems, knowing that it was going to be denied, which
yeah.
they said would work in their favor because it would
Check,
actually
check.
uh, expedite it to
Yeah,
the Supreme Court, which it did. And the Supreme Court is in conference now on if they're considering whether they're going to hear this case or not. It's imperative because it could change everything. Now, what's so important about this? Well, what's so important is that they're even going to hear the case. The Supreme Court gets, I think they said 6,000 cases each year. Out of the 5,000 and 6,000 cases that they get, they actually rule and see on about 1,500 of those. So all those other ones, you can see why it takes years and years and years to get through the court system. if they get about 6 a year thousand, and they can only hear 1,500 a year, they're being very selective on which cases, they're
I
gonna
have a theory about this from my friend Devil Dog.
bring it to me.
Okay, so this is the case that involves the two potato heads at the top and the 388 Congress people involved, correct?
Correct.
What Devil Dog told me was, okay, when I read that case, that was to be decided by the 23rd if they were going to take that up or not. And but then before that happened, before the 23rd even happened, that was released an hour after T's somber speech. His
Right.
announcement, I should say. And it wasn't a rally, it was that announcement. Within an hour, that case was flying off every back channel. Okay. And it said by the 23rd. What Devil Dog told me was this: he could not lawfully file to run as president in 2024 for not having conceded the 2020 selection prior. So they either decided that they were going to take it or not. And then the ones that said, "Oh, we don't care about treason," maybe they're being dealt with at the spa, or maybe they dealt with it properly and he decided, or he didn't file. He's just saying he is going to run. You never know. There's quite a few options
Well,
out
you're right about that. We don't really
there.
know.
So
We know
say,
that
so
there's
say.
several theories out there.
Common law, common
Yeah,
law. What you're saying is those brothers did it. It's the people. It's common law.
right.
Going to go through that way. It's going to go through the process for the people, and you can read it yourself. Conservative Cowboy posted it first. I saw it in Tin TV's Telegram first, because that was a pretty depressing speech at first. But when I went back and rewatched it and really looked at everything and took a step back and went, "Oh, okay, this is, you never know what things are not what they seem, people. They're not
Right.
what."
Oh, you mean after thousands of decoders decoded it and put it on online for the rest of us?
Yeah, after that. That's what I mean. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean.
think we're all looking at it in a different light too. But
I
so
saw between some lines, though. I did.
the
I
timing
always
of
listen.
this,
Yeah,
right, the timing of this case is key. It
yeah.
is very key.
Over
So,
Thanksgiving weekend too. That was what a coincidence that was, huh?
right.
Long holiday weekend there when Congress just ain't been doing a thing all year long, you guys. Just they're Hollywood crisis actors like your county people. That's what I've decided. They're all crisis actors. They are. I'm not
Well,
kidding. I'm not
no, a
kidding.
lot of them are, people need to investigate when Mr. T is in a rally or in a speech and he says, uh, straight out of central casting.
Okay.
What do
Oh
people
yeah.
think he's talking about?
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. What is he talking about? Tell me. Central casting. What is that
Straight,
code?
straight out
Out
of
of
central
Hollywood?
casting.
Like out
Yeah.
of a Hollywood production movie? Mnuchin's? Is it
That means
Mnuchin's
it's an
movie?
actor. That means it's an actor playing the part.
Is it Mnuchin's
So,
movie?
well, let's talk about arrest.
Yeah.
I got one over Thanksgiving and
Oh,
again
yeah.
over
I've been
Thanksgiving,
waiting
but
for this one. You teased me about this a couple days.
uh, supposedly the U.S. military, and again, allegedly, supposedly, it's being reported from Michael Baxter
Mhm.
that the Secretary of Education, Miguel Cordona, was arrested for treason and crimes against humanity. Now, here are the details. He
Oh,
was arrested in his Connecticut home, uh, one of a few he owns, with his wife, Marissa Perez. And she evidently was a former beauty queen. Um, but
good for her.
uh, I guess Cyber Command had obtained a letter to Arizona, California, Michigan, and New York superintendents of schools from this guy telling them and instructing them to hire non-binary uh, teachers, and
What?
told them that gender is a choice. It's not mandated at birth.
Oh, shut up, people.
Okay,
What the
so all
doctor yelled, and when you were born is what you are. Okay. What the doctor noticed about between your legs, it's what you are. Unless you're a hermaphrodite, then you get to pick. So you all ain't
yeah, well,
hermaphrodite. Shut
Jake
up.
said he's guilty of treason for indoctrination, and he's he's at the very top of all of these crazy teachers. Again, we have some great teachers too, uh,
Mhm.
that are teaching our children this crap in school.
Yeah. Bye bye,
Okay?
mofos. Bye bye.
So
Bye
the
bye
head
now.
honcho allegedly was arrested on Thanksgiving Day while he was putting his turkey in the oven and having his green bean casserole. You can't make this up.
Oh, that is rich. Happy
I
Thanksgiving.
didn't even embellish. Those were facts that were
That
reported.
is, oh, if
Putting
you
his
were in
turkey in
your
the
district,
oven with his
you would
green bean
relish
casserole.
that. If you were in his district or had to suffer under his ruling, you should relish that because I'm relishing it for your community. Rested while putting your turkey in the oven, witches. Ha 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 ha. That's good stuff. I'm sorry. I just, oh,
Yeah,
years of
well,
suffering.
that's crazy. Again, let's talk about some missing people. Where is now we've reported on uh a few arrests on our reports, and I encourage everyone to go back and watch the videos. But the military people were Blaine Baker, Bridget Brink, Mark Milley, uh, uh, General McMaster, Herbert Raymond McMaster. He used to be all over the television. General Barrett, the one that
Bye.
was
Bye.
involved in the Mar-a-Lago uh, thing. But where has Eric Holder been? Where has Eric Garcetti been? Where's Fiona
Mm.
Hill? Where's Francis O'Rourke? Where's Gordon David Sodland, another military person? Uh, uh,
Where's
Gretchen,
Raggedy Ann? Where's Saki?
yeah,
Where are
Gretchen
you,
Thunberg.
Jen?
Look, there's like tons of them. I mean,
Bam, bam.
here we go. Where's Adam Schiff been? Uh, where's Boris Johnson? Where's
Ooh.
Alexander Soros? Where's Cuomo? Where's Angela Merkel? Where's Avril Haines? Where's Bernie Sanders? Where's the
Mm.
ex-prez uh, with the CLINTON last name? Where's Mr. GATES? Other than a headline in the newspaper, where are these people physically?
Right,
Where's the daughter of the CLINTON?
right.
Where's Mr. Ray? Where's Mr. Powell? Oh, yeah, that's right. We already know he's deceased. Uh, uh, Dan Sullivan, David Holmes, where's Miss Deanne Criswell from the FEMA administrator? Where are all these people?
Bye. Bye
You
bye,
know,
you
are they
all. God
missing?
have mercy.
Is there missing persons reports out on these people? Because they seem to be missing.
I
All of
don't
them.
miss them. Do you miss them? Because I'm not missing. Anybody missing these a-holes? Because not me.
Yeah, well, if anybody sees them, they ought to tell them to get behind the camera and come on here because, the world is not seeing them.
God have mercy
So,
on your souls because you're probably at the spa. Because this is not, the American people are not sitting back doing nothing. Not all of them. Not all of them.
right. But, we can't forget that they had 209,000 sealed indictments.
That's a lot, you guys.
Yeah, because that's just an indictment, and an indictment can include multiple people.
Multiple cases,
Yeah,
multiple, rabbit holes to go down with real legit lawful stuff happening. And if this,
right,
you guys, the whole vid thing, there's never been a better time for the spotlight with a magnifying glass is on all the politicians unless they're not in your community. And if nobody is looking at your community's politicians, then you have to be the one to do it because they're all going to be pushing the same agenda. Do you understand what I mean? They all are. You could see it in all of
right?
the discussions everywhere. I
And
could see it.
what we have here, kind of in summary with some of this is that we have generals and flag officers and admirals working against each
Mhm.
other,
Right.
uh, recognizing different people, some involved in the coup, some protecting the lawful commander in chief, and we all know who he is. Uh, this battle is ongoing. It's real and it's happening. Uh, Also, we understand that there's also an internal battle in the NSA with the same thing going on. So
Look at
people,
Twitter. How fun is Elon lately? Making the libs cray cray.
right? Look, people who have colluded with foreign powers are going to be held accountable. You have to
Yes.
go back to EO Executive Order 13848. Again, going back in time
Hmm.
is happening right now and is coming into play. They didn't just issue those executive orders for no reason. Uh,
Hmm.
they knew all of this was forthcoming. Again, I know it sounds cliche, but the sting operation, there's been many, and there's still going to continue to be many
Yeah.
going on. Uh,
Right.
so, you know, that's what we have going on in that regard. What do we have going on in the mainstream today? Well, I hear, speaking of ex presidents with the Clinton last name, that Mr. Billclinton uh, is positive with the
Mr.
sickness.
Bill. Who? Who's the second
Eddie
guy?
Murphy's husband.
Oh
You know,
yeah, the doper. Yeah, Mr.
yeah, the
Yeah,
one that was caught under the
the
desk,
sax
had an
player.
intern under the desk.
Yeah, the sax player. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why my
Uh,
husband rooting for?
he just made a comment that he was grateful to have gotten the jab and
Oh sure.
subsequently went back and got the other two. Okay. But yet he's got the sickness. So what does that say? All the people that are getting sick,
Don't get
go
me
to the
started.
Sears,
Don't
people
get me
go get the statistics. The people that are getting sick are the people who had the Jabadoo.
I'd day suddenly say, do you know Pig Latin? It's a new movie. I'd day suddenly say. Yeah, it's not a
Right.
joke. It's very serious. Our kids are being coerced. Our kids, parents, you have what really bothers me more than anything else, Liberty Cowgirl, is having special needs adults and children, and we have a lot of them in our community. You have a lot of special needs people and mentally challenged, physically challenged, and they're very dependent on all of these government programs, and they're very dependent on all of the few healthcare choices people that we have, and they're very much coerced into doing all of these things that are not healthy, and it's I just pray all the time that God deliver us because it is so evil. I can't even, it's every agency here. We've been completely sold out. People can't pay attention to politics because once they figure out how deep it is, they just step back, like I have to do repeatedly until we can. And maybe this decade, maybe this year, maybe next year, we can actually deal with the monumental task because why Florence, Colorado had 5 of their city council members just step down. Some are removed, they're arrested. There's never been a better time. I get that before no one was paying attention. Now they are. That's the
Well,
hope.
and what, what I hope people can see is they're gearing up for round two here. Make
Yes, they
no
are.
mistake about that. Okay, the
Lions,
advertising is
lions.
coming out on a daily basis. They're
Yeah.
starting to push this for the children again. People, before you put this in your children's arm, you better get online and do your research. Bring up one
Don't
search
give
on
this to
how
your
many
kids.
children died from this.
Don't give this to your kids. Do not give this to your
Do
kids.
not give this to your children.
It's not for your
So
house. It's
they're
not for your
they're
house.
pushing it now. They're going to try and mask everybody back up like a bunch of idiots. The
The hell
best
you will. The hell you
do what
will,
the
people.
public needs to do. Do not comply.
Do
Do
not
not
comply, people,
comply.
or I'm
Get
coming for you.
online like a robot, throw on your a face diaper, and go line up and put something inside of yourself that you don't even know what you're getting. I don't know what to tell you other than you deserve what you get.
You're doing what we can do, which is educate people. And we're going to teach people how to vet the information. You need to learn how to vet your council people's monies. They're spending your money to hold you down. And you need to learn how to vet information. We're doing it ourselves. And Eric is going to get on and do a stream with me about vetting and infiltrating is a big deal, you guys. People can look like they're on your side to your face. So hardcore. They can give you money even and they're going to stab you in the back. I mean, it's very serious crazy war right now, like you often remind us all. This is no, this is, we've never been through this before, you guys. We've never been
Yeah,
through.
this isn't a video game. This is real life and it's happening.
Yeah,
Okay. And people are losing their lives because
children,
of
children are. Mm-hmm.
yes. So, maybe people ought to get online and see all of these citizens of other countries and how they're saying no, no, no. And look at the people of China. Look at the people of
Brazil,
Brazil.
yeah,
Look at the people of
Dutch, Netherlands, they've been
yeah,
fighting.
Australia, all these other countries.
Yeah,
And say, wait a
yeah.
minute, what's wrong here? What's wrong here in
Well,
America?
like you said, we're doing it so we don't have to go kinetic. We do it, but there still are. Look, I've taken a lot of hits and abuse in hopes that it's exposing. I didn't do it, but it at the end of the day, at the end of the instance that I recorded, because I knew I'd watch and they were going to discriminate against me, I was going to record it. I have it that this place is completely lawless. I'm not out of my mind. I didn't dream it. This is going to get dealt with. We're never letting it go. I'm marching it all the way to heaven with Peggy Hall. All the way, baby. All the way. They'll never get away with it for good. There's no way.
Right.
They can't.
So we
It's
have them
evil.
also, finally, we have them releasing Mr. T's the infamous tax returns. Now, do people think that these have been withheld because he didn't want to show them? Ha ha ha.
yeah.
Again, people need to think strategically, okay?
Yeah.
Uh, because now that he's released these tax returns at
Has
this
he?
moment in
Oh,
time,
I didn't know that
every
he did.
single one of those Congress people, every single one of those senators, every single one of those politicians must
Uh-huh.
disclose theirs too. There will be a legal precedence for them to
That's
do
why he
so.
waited. That's why he
Yes,
waited.
yes, plain and simple.
Uh-huh.
In my humble opinion. Uh,
Stay
so
frosty.
we have that happening. We have that Supreme Court case, which is going to open everything up. We have a hearing coming up down in Tampa, Florida on December 5th with Mr.
For
Jeremy
what?
Brown,
Okay.
who was an ex Beret who was uh, running for a Republican congressional seat down in Florida. And they arrested him uh, and prohibited him from doing that because he refused to be an F and a B and a I undercover informant.
Mm.
on January 6th. So they've gone after him. So this is another important case that'll open up to other cases. So we see where things are starting to align. So the question is the legal part of this going to play out first, or is the military kinetic part of this abroad going
It
to
can't. It can't be the
play
military.
out
They would have
first?
just sent the National Guard in and set it straight if it could be that way. People
Right.
wanted
And
that
we
to happen, but it
we
can't
heard what
happen
our
that way.
right, and we heard what our military men said. You know, they talked about Turkey next, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, a potential foot battle into Syria uh, that they're going to try and pull. But let's
Mm-hmm.
just, uh, for the record's sake, because I'm following him, because you know he's lead traitor in my opinion, and I'm speaking of our Secretary of Defense, Mr. Austin. Uh, he had a phone call with the Turkish Minister of National Defense,
Ooh.
uh, and uh, expressing concern over the escalating action in northern Syria and Turkey. So there you have it, yet again, confirmation from the Secretary of Defense here on what already a retired military general that we report on,
Mm-hmm.
information confirmed.
An escalation occurring in Turkey and
Yes,
Iran.
over
And,
in Turkey and Syria.
right,
So,
right.
you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
it's going on
God
all
be
over
with
the
them.
place.
God be with those innocent people.
Right. It's happening so fast, we can't even keep up with it. But let me just share uh, kind of a little situation analysis. Hold on one moment.
Mm-hmm. I got to talk to Mama T, you guys, today. Excuse me. And I think tomorrow morning, if she's free, or tomorrow sometime, we're going to get her story. And then maybe we could do a Liberty Lounge. I'd love to be able to talk with you all about it, but it's going to be
Absolutely. That's a huge story. This
it
is
is
where
a
somebody
huge
went
story.
into battle
It
on
is
the
a
first on the front
huge
line,
story.
and
Well, it involves a remedy that can be very effective for all of us. And so that's what I'm really excited to be able to share with you guys. Um, it's really important to prop up the perceivingly little guy, like our Jen warrior in Vaco, Wisconsin, with a town of 500 doing battle by herself. Is she alone? No way. No way. We got your back, Jen. We got you. And when the time is right, Vaco, Wisconsin is going to go, whoosh, what the heck happened? They don't know, but I'm telling you, it's over for them. It's over for all of these people who are lying and evil and hurting our communities, because you're done. The righteous will take you over. They will protect the children. And once people really see the truth for what's really going on here, y'all don't stand a chance. And it's a hair away from all being exposed. It's literally a hair away from it all being blown up, and you will have nowhere to run, people. It's
right.
already happening. So,
Well, let me offer this up just to close this out for tonight because we've covered a lot of information. But I thought this was a great situation analysis. Um, the final operations of bringing down Ukraine, which is the deep state's money laundering operation,
in
make
case
no
you didn't know.
mistake about that, is all connected to the death of the Queen and her control over the Commonwealth countries, and it's all connected to the death of Evelyn Rothschild. The bankruptcy of BlackRock, which we've all seen the bankruptcy documents. I even have a copy of them. Uh, Globally to bring down the fiat central banking system with the help of the German military. Um, uh, is what they were trying to do. Now,
Those
they're
small
saying
towns.
that the white hats uh, and elites' defiance of NATO and getting ready to join Russia and China BRICS,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because they're going to give money to form a new EU nation and currency. Uh,
Excuse me.
Germany had to cut off the Rothschilds' banks, and
Mm,
that was the reason the Vatican wanted all their assets back. Uh, Now, with Italy silently denying Khazarian NATO rule,
mhm,
and public protests against NATO, uh, this is supposedly going to start the falling of NATO, the beginning of the end, so
mhm,
to speak, for
mhm,
them, because they're going to come to a brink of confusion among the EU nations, which is already starting to happen. Um, so Turkey's leaving NATO to join BRICS. So I bring that up because we have a phone call happening with our Secretary of Defense Austin with the Turkey Prime Minister, but here Turkey's planning to leave NATO and
mhm.
join BRICS. So there's obviously some type of
Jerry.
negotiations going on there.
Jerry
Uh,
says, "Oopne, adone."
I agree with you, Jerry.
Love you, Jerry.
Uh, the falling of the cabal in the EU old countries has secured open doors for U.S. military to see all the infiltrators, spies, treasonous sources inside CONUS, the continental United States, through the U.S. banking systems and elite networks of the cabal force and their full agenda in the past 5 years. With
Mm,
Mr. T secretly putting the United States into a state of emergency back in 2018 and activating the COG, continuity of government procedures, which opened military operations to the devolution plan currently happening and steadily in place. The World Alliance military options are in full swing, and for the first time in history, the U.S. has everything out it needs to arrest the full Khazarian mafia. So, along with the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Rothschilds, the Bidens, and the bad side of the Kennedys. There's a good side of the Kennedys and there's a bad side of the Kennedys. I think people are confused about the Kennedys because they're seeing them as one. They too, that family has a good and a bad side. Again, go online and to the Sacred Blue Tent and let them explain it all to you because they do that quite well. So, all these events that we're seeing are connected. They're all connected to one another. They all have relevance to one another. And, we're going to continue to watch this. Again, we have so much information. It's hard to decide, given the time slot that we have, what to put out there. That's the most important. But, uh, let's not forget we have a rail strike that's pending right now that, uh,
yeah,
they were trying to cut in on, and um supposedly there was a deal on the table and it was rejected and they're going back and forth. So if that happens, everybody better be prepared. That's going to have a very
yeah.
significant impact
Let
on
me
different.
add to that with what. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Were you done? I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. Yeah.
Um, with what I was reporting on today for Humboldt, I noticed a lot of the labor unions are out in force right now. So I think that, you know, if we were to take this narrative and this one scope of these people are bankrupt and they're hurting for money, what I picked up on the meeting today was they said something about these bidders getting credit, because I'm trying to figure out, okay, how is the government they're trying to get contracts up here for this offshore land. How is that going to get them money, right? Because Humboldt isn't paying them money. They're supposed to get money. It's so much, girl, but it just seems like, they are tapped and they're looking for money. And this, this agenda that's barreling down the track coming to your county, because Humboldt and California, you all know it comes here first. So that's why people pay attention to me. I'm pretty sure because they know, oh, it's there in Dees County. It's coming in ours next. So I don't know, but the unions
Right.
are
And
definitely feeling a hurt too, like the government's agencies are, is what I'm saying. That's my point. I'm seeing them kind of going, ouch, ouch. We're
right.
feeling it here.
And one
Yeah.
hand washes the others. It's a well-oiled machine of corruption that's been going on, and they start by
Mhm.
controlling the people through the unions. You know, these are honest, good people. They
Yeah.
don't know what
Yeah.
the political agenda is on the backside. They're just hard
Mhm.
workers. Uh,
Yeah.
so, um, you know, everybody's involved. They do it through government contracts. They
Yeah.
do it through diversity contracts.
Yeah.
Award these big
Arts. They do it
contracts.
through the arts.
Is usually owned by
Yeah.
somebody on the backside who then turns around and after they make all the money for the big contract, turns around some of their profits back to support somebody's campaign or puts it into somebody's foundation or and it just all keeps washing through the system like a little washing machine going
Yeah.
round and round and round and round.
Yep.
So we're going to keep watching things. I truly, in my heart, believe that these arrests are taking place.
Yeah.
And, we really need to hold in prayer our
Okay.
military men and women and their families.
Amen. We do.
We all talk about this and people take things for granted. And that's the thing that upsets me the most is
Yeah.
that real people are losing their lives in this battle. It's not just talk. And, it's important that we as individuals keep those people in our thoughts and prayers because it's not all bad guys out there. We have a lot of good people in this country that's fighting for our freedoms right now on our behalf. Again, people known and unknown that we'll never even know of.
That's
So,
right.
you know,
Thank you, heroes. I love you.
yes, we want to pray for all those heroes, their family,
Camo. Hi,
everyone,
Camo.
everyone who is
Josh,
doing
Camo.
something.
Hi, you guys.
Hey, Camo.
Camo and Josh in the house. There's an animated map on YouTube
Josh.
called Naval Expansion since 1941. I highly recommend people look it up and watch it. Right on. Thanks, Camo. We'll check it out. Good to see you, Josh. I hope your wife is doing well.
But that's pretty much the update right now. We've got a lot going on worldwide, a lot of positioning
Mm-hmm.
taking place, a lot of attempts to change the narrative here in the United
Yeah.
States with the media, some on purpose. It's going to backfire on them.
Mm-hmm.
We've all seen that happen in the past. So, I'm looking forward to hearing what the journalists have to say after the holiday weekend. And we'll bring those reports. In the meantime, we're going to keep watching uh, everything that's going on here domestically and continue to report on that. But make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, they're going for round two. Do not comply. Do not
Yeah.
put pressure on your family members to go out there and comply. uh, Read the statistics about what happened the first go round and how many people actually lost their lives, how many people that went and lined up and got an unknown substance put into their body, how many of them are still walking around, and know that you're making a life and death decision uh, if you're going to comply for this next round of this pandemic, so to speak. Caution
Yeah.
everybody against it. Do not do it.
Mhm. Hi, NC Debs. And not only that, they're gonna be shoving round two, but it's also zero carbon compliance that's getting shoved in our community, and that's why the offshore drilling, and the communities, the counties just bringing these agendas to our communities, telling us how it's going to be. That's not how it's supposed to work. That's not how our communities grow and develop properly, by taking money from whoever's handing it out so they can have your land. That's what our community's doing. And I'd like to change that. So I'm thankful for all these supporters and viewers and the YouTube family that they're watching to see, maybe these girls will be onto something, maybe we'll get somewhere. Oh yeah, wait till you hear Mama T's story, you guys. You're gonna go, okay, Devil Dog knows some things, Affidavit Mamas knows some things. These girls are following the right people. We are following the people that are we the people. They are making effective change, and we're trying to do what we can in a community that is very dangerous for us to do much more than just talk about it, maybe drop an affidavit. You can't even really do that yourself. It's every agency. It's very corrupt. So we need help. It's this big strategy we're working on here, but you know, but God, but then God, so
Right.
I believe in miracles. I believe this is a really wonderful time to be alive and to just behold history, be part of history. I want to be remembered as someone who gave it all, who was devoted to God, devoted to the truth, to devoted to her friends, loyal to the end. And I think that's who we got here too, which is why I love our readers the best. We're
Right.
the bestest.
Well, once you know what's going on and you decide to get onto the battlefield, you don't get off. You don't
No.
say, "Oh, I'm leaving. See you later."
Yeah.
We've all been wounded. We've gotten up. We've dusted off our knees, and we've come
Yeah.
right back at it. And this is where we're going to be in till we're not needed anymore. And the best thing we could do is be not needed, so we could move on to our country lifestyle living brand. We want to tell everybody to go to Deanna's website at Humboldt. Uh, what is it? Humboldt News.
StandUpHumboldt.com or .news, either one. You'll get
Okay,
to either one.
right. Stand Up Humboldt dot news
Dot
will take you
news.
straight to
Yeah.
the website. Get all
Yeah.
this information we're talking about in past shows and everything, Humboldt County and everything to do with affidavits and so forth.
Yeah.
Uh, she's on Stand Up Humboldt 2, Stand Up Humboldt 4,
Mhm.
typically in the morning times, uh, 10 o'clock West Coast time.
Yep. Yep. Between
Uh,
10 and noon is my range, you guys. I need a 2 hour range, please. Thank you
right.
very much.
We want everybody to tune into, of course, the Liberty Cowgirl Network. We only come on when we have updates and news to give out for now. As soon as more disclosure starts happening, then we'll be on more often.
Yeah.
But until then, we're given news as it comes on, and sometimes that is not every day.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep going with the news flow there. Uh,
Yep.
if you want to be a guest on the show or want us to mention anything, send us an email to libertycowgirl77 at gmail.com. Of course, hit the subscribe key and hit the notifications for Liberty Cowgirl Network on YouTube. I'm at Liberty Cowgirl on Getter, and thank you, Getter family, for supporting our Liberty Cowgirl Network on YouTube and watching the shows over
Yeehaw.
here, even though I post the shows there too. And I'm at Liberty Cowgirl Nation on Rumble and at Liberty Cowgirl on True Social. So
Whoo! We get
that was a
around,
mouthful.
y'all. We get
Also,
around.
tune into Tin TV, the West Coast variety show, late
Best
night.
West Coast variety show on the
And Bonnie's, kick back and stay a while at Bonnie's. And of course,
Wellness Patriot, Power Girl,
Health
Keeper of
and
the
Wellness is
Flame.
at Wellness Patriot.
That's Elaine's is Wellness Patriot, Keeper of the Flame, and is Christina Power Girl. Let's see, did we get everybody? Did we get everybody?
I think we ran everybody down.
Uh, we got some men streamers. We got Camel's got a channel, but he's not on. Who's going on tonight? That's what I know. I might go in the she shed and make up some wellness kits and fire up a live because I know Bonnie won't be on tonight unless Camel plans on going live.
Very good.
Or
And you can also order all of these wellness products uh,
on the Cowgirl
through,
page. Go to the Cowgirl page on standuphumble.news
right.
because we've got and also don't forget about the Hug Your Flag campaign. Take a
Yeah, and
picture
hug your flag
in
for
your
peace and
flag.
unity. Please send more
Peace
pictures
and
because
unity,
we're
you
doing
guys.
video.
Come on. Get on
And we're
the
working on a promo now for that campaign, so we'll show it hopefully on one of the upcoming episodes coming up. But
please do.
with that having been said, we're going to close it out for the night. Uh,
Hi,
Never
Vince.
give up, never give in, and never back down, everyone. God bless everybody, and prayers out for Bonnie,
Yes.
and
I did pray for
prayers out for Tootsie down in Florida. Tootsie, we hope you get better, Tootsie. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate all your support. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Love you so much. All glory to our Father.